I didn't hear one person say, I'm not voting for this because I hate Trump. Not one. Here's the Republican way of life is create a straw man about what the Democrats do and then do exactly what you just accused them of doing so that you don't look like a hypocrite. Here's Trump just saying what everybody here agrees with. All these MAGA folks here agree with. There is nothing that these folks stand for. Ironically, the unifying thing that all of you have is hatred, and it's hatred for us. It's hatred for people who think differently than you. And I don't think that it's hatred because you're actually afraid of what we do. I don't think it's hatred because you don't like what we stand for, because you have no fucking clue what we stand for. What you hate is that we oppose you. What you hate is that we criticize this dipshit. Your entire platform legitimately is hatred. That's why you're here today. That's why you are being trolls today. That's why you're saying, see, told you so. That's why you're celebrating instead of engaging in a conversation. And it's because you're led by a motherfucking dipshit like Donald Trump, who is just hate-filled. And he goes on the day the big beautiful bill passes on 4th of July, he decides to go out, not to unify, not to say, hey, Democrats, I know you guys might not like this bill, but we're going to work together. Instead, he goes out on a hate tour.
I want to thank Republican congressmen and women because what they did is incredible last night. And the Senate, the Republican Senate, we got, not with all of the things we did with the tax cuts and rebuilding our military, not one Democrat voted for us. And I think we use it in the campaign that's coming up, the midterms, because we got.
If you're a good leader, shouldn't you be able to get people to vote with you? Joe Biden passed lots of bipartisan legislation. This man has never passed a single piece of bipartisan legislation. That's not a good leader. Whatever you want to say, I understand that you guys like him. That is a bad leader. If you can't get people who disagree with you to find some common ground, you are a bad leader. But because, again, you worship this man, you can't admit that. So what you have to do instead is just always call everybody else bad. Everybody else is bad, just not him. The reason nobody voted for this bill, and the reason that you guys had to beg Republicans to vote for this bill, the reason that you couldn't pass the bill the first time, is because even Republicans know this. And I'm going to show you clip after clip after clip of Republicans explaining what's wrong with this bill. And ultimately what got them to vote for this bill is Donald Trump threatening them. This is not a good leader. It's just it's a schoolyard bully.
Got to beat him. But all of the things that we've given, and they wouldn't vote only because they hate Trump. But I hate them too, you know that? So it's
not one single person said, I'm not voting for this because I hate Trump. We had hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of debate about real data, about real provisions in this bill. I didn't hear one person say, I'm not voting for this because I hate Trump. Not one. Here's the Republican way of life is create a straw man about what the Democrats do and then do exactly what you just accused them of doing so that you don't look like a hypocrite. Nobody voted against this bill because they hate Trump. They voted against this bill because it hurts working class people. And it absolutely will hurt working class people. And ironically, you guys will do the same thing that you did in 2017, and I wish you would learn from your mistakes. What you will see is you will celebrate the stock market. Next year, when revenues come in, you will say, oh, look, revenue went up. Where's all the fear-mongering now? Nobody, zero. I just want this on the record. Clip this. There wasn't a single Democrat that said revenues next year will be lower than this year. And Trump will get up there, and you guys will get up there, and Republicans all over Fox News will hop on their mic, and they'll see, look at all these Democrats. They were fear-mongering that revenues would go down, and they went up. Nobody has said that. They will celebrate. They will create straw mans to celebrate victory. When you guys say, like, are we tired of winning yet? You don't ever win. You're not. These aren't real fights. These are straw man arguments that you create yourself. And then when it doesn't happen, you're like, look, we won. Revenues next year will go up. You know what else will go up? Wealth inequality. You know what else will go up? The amount of people who are uninsured. You know what else will go up? Preventable deaths. And none of you will talk about that. You'll talk about the stock market. And you'll talk about how revenues went up. And not a single one of us predicted that the stock market would crash or that revenues wouldn't go up. Revenues always go up. The stock market always goes up. The problem that we're going to have here is that rural hospitals will shut down, health insurance will get more expensive, life in America will become more unaffordable, and the rich will get richer. I promise you, if I'm wrong, explain to me from 2017 until now. Where's my Republicans? From 2017 until now, did the middle class get better? No, it didn't get better. All of you, you can't say that it did because you sat there during this last election cycle and you're like, Joe Biden destroyed the middle class under Trump's tax policy somehow. He destroyed the middle class with Trump's tax policy. So how is extending the same policy that isn't working, and that's what he did for the middle class, he just kept you guys on the same tax policy that isn't working and then cut taxes for rich people. Explain to me how I'm supposed to think that's going to work. The only way that you would think that's going to work is if you just never look at data. Ever, ever, ever.